Okay, hello everyone to yeah, how did you say it? I don't want this to be something official. I want it to be highly interactive. So I'm not really sure how to present this. Obviously, this is a real estate channel and it's I run it more like a professional thing. But yeah, since this is live, I want it to be as casual as possible. So welcome, and I'm actually going to keep it brief because right now I'm running on um the normal power supply and we all know this can be unreliable, so I'm going to keep it um straight on point. So in this live, I want to address how to spot a fake deed of assignment in Lagos. So yeah, this is Lagos, Nigeria, and we know this is the place where the land scams are most popular. If there is one thing common in Nigerian real estate, especially in Lagos, it is scam. So, and one of the ways they scam is through documentation. So that is why you need to be very conversant when it comes to your land documents. So I have a copy of deed of assignment here right with me. Actually, this belongs to. Let me just print this so that there can be the access can be okay. Yeah, I'll be checking my connection from time to time, my microphone, so I can be sure. So I have this belongs to a client of mine in Canada. Of course, I'm going to courier it to her. So I want to use one of the copy of her deed of assignment that she has here with me. So I have a copy of deed of assignment right here. This is what it looks like. As much as I would love to blot out the name, she's the client is more like my person and yeah, very trusted. So she does not have a problem with me actually displaying this, but I'm going to try and conceal it as much as possible because it is a live video. I know I might not be able to cover up some things, so that's why I decided to use our own in particular because she's an insider. So now in that video that I posted, the major reason I decided to do this live is because I know that that video I did not use a copy of deed of assignment. So some people may find it difficult. Okay, how do I find consideration, execution, all these things that you mentioned in the video? How will I be able to look for them in the on my deed of assignment? How will I be able to? So that is the major reason I decided to do this live. Now, most of these deeds of assignments can vary depending on who prepares the document. Sorry, trying to cross check my microphone. So depending on who prepares the document. So but regardless, the features that I mentioned in that video and I'm going to show you right here are the things you need to look out for. It does not have to follow that particular format. For example, some people use the red seal. Some people's seal, I mean the company seal, they use the red one. Sometimes the lawyers use the red one. So it's just for you to know what to watch out for and how you can know whether it is fake or real. So yeah, in that particular video I mentioned the usefulness, the reason you actually need a deed of assignment, the reason you must not compromise on it. And I mentioned that number one, it serves as the proof of ownership. It is deed of assignment that will show a legal transaction. This means that a receipt is not enough. A deed of assignment will show that okay, this contract is legally binding and it is enforceable. You understand? So I also noted that it is the foundation for other title documents. Yeah, for example, if you want to get a governor's consent, you definitely present a deed of assignment. So even your CO of O has to come with a deed of assignment as well, because yeah, there are some details in it that shows history or chain of ownership. And then number three, for dispute resolution, you need a deed of assignment in order to claim any land, especially in court. Your deed of assignment is going to be your first line of defense. And then number four, I noted that for inheritance purpose, yeah, if you are no longer there, or even if you are there, even if you are alive in your absentia, your coming generation, what they are going to use to prove it goes just beyond receipts. So um and then lastly, I noted that it facilitates sales transaction. Let's say you want to sell that land, you need a deed of assignment. Of course, it's going to help you. So now, moving on to the this sample right now of deed of assignment. is not just by it carrying the name deed of assignment, like I mentioned. So the first feature that would guarantee that a deed of assignment is genuine is what we call the details of the parties. Who are the parties? We are talking about the assigner and the assignee. Who is the assigner? Who is the assignee? I mentioned in that particular video as well. An assigner is the seller, is the person assigning, is the person saying that, okay, I want to transfer this particular land, the legal rights or ownership of this land. I'm transferring it to another person. So if you check this place now, you see deed of assignment. I'm not really sure if this thing is not laterally inverted because it's a front camera. So, but I believe you get the idea. So deed of assignment between Abundant Acres Limited, assigner. So this is the assigner. The person transferring the rights to another person is the assigner. So now in this case, this is a company. Abundant Acres Limited is a company. Sometimes it can be family, because the land, it might be that you are buying it from family. Okay, for example, this is my client now, bought it from a company through me. So now what you are trying to say is that the assigner is here, then we have the assignee, which carries my client's name. So now it goes beyond just their names. You will see their details. So I am going to demonstrate it. Here we have the details of the assigner here, whereas the assigner is a company registered under the Company and Allied Matters. You see details of assigner present. So it's like I said, it goes just beyond the name. So now if you look at these details up here, you see Abundant Acres Limited, a company incorporated under the laws of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, having its operational address at, this is the address. If you remember that video, I mentioned it, that the address, name, details, address of the assigner and the assignee. So this is the address of the assigner now. Herein after called the assigner, meaning that for every place in this deed of assignment where we see the assigner, we are talking about this company. So now, which expression shall where the context so admits include directors, successor in title, the appointed representatives, privates, assigns, and howsoever called, etc. of the one part. So this is trying to say that, okay, the assigner now goes just beyond an individual. So far, you see, directors, successor in title, appointed representatives. So as long as someone is representing that company, so generally, so the assigner now is trying to say that collectively anybody that is under that umbrella is the assigner. So now moving on to the other part, assignee, which is the buyer. We have it right here. This is the name of the assignee. So this is the address of the assignee as well. So this is my client's name and my client's address, New Brunswick, that's Canada. So herein called the assignee, which expression shall where the context so admits include, so meaning that even for the assignee, that is the buyer, the heirs, executors, administrators, assigns, and other succession in title, etc. of the other parts. So, and then okay, we'll still come to this aspect, but I just feel I've done justice to the first feature, which is the name and address of the assigner and the assignee. So how do we even come about this assigner, assignee, or whatever? I mentioned it in that video. I said the deed of assignments now is more like a document showing assignments that is assigned by the assigner to the assignee. The assignment is the transaction. The deed is the book, the paper, the legal document that is showing that transfer. So let's move on. So after details of parties, I mentioned property description. Yes, property description. In fact, we have one right here. I mean, we have it here. We have a summary here. Of course, it is still contained inside the book itself. It's still contained right here. But yeah, this is the summary. So now we have all that parcel of land measuring approximately 305.58 square meters. So this particular client of mine from New Brunswick in Canada bought, let me confirm my microphone, okay, bought 300 square meters. So that's approximately, so we have measuring approximately 305.58 square meters. So with allocation number plot 3 block C as contained in the survey attached to this deed line. So there is a part when I get there, I think okay, let me just address it right now, because I said there are features in one of those things that I said in that video, is that it must match the survey that is attached. If there are inconsistencies, then there is a problem. Your deed of assignment must match your survey. Okay, let me just use that opportunity. I want to do a different video on survey. We have two this thing here. We have a survey, one that looks like this, and this is another one. As you can see, they are not of the same material and they are not of the same color, so I'm still going to address that in another video. But the point right now is, let's focus on deed of assignment. And the reason I had to show this is because it must match what is on the survey. When there are inconsistencies, there is a problem. So now, mention, okay, as contained in the survey attached to this deed, lying, being, and situated at Orchid Crow. Okay, this is the details of the estate. So in that particular video, I mentioned that under your property description, if the land is 300 square meters, 150, 500, 1000, 3000, even if it is 10,000, it has to be stated, and that's why we have this approximation right here. Then I said something again. I said if it is a building, whether it is let's say if it is residential or commercial, it has to be stated on it. Then if the type of building it is, the type of property it is, whether it is residential or commercial, it has to be stated. The type of building, on how many floors, is it ground floor, they call some G+4, G+5, that is ground floor plus so amount of floors. So yeah, right. Okay, where was I? Okay, now located at Imota, Ikorodu, Shagam local government area, Ogun State. You can see the details is there, the plot number, the size, what kind of estate, where is it located. So over time I will keep bringing in more details, but let's just move forward. So now number 3, I have the chain of ownership or the history. Very good. Let me not waste time. Let me quickly go here. See here. The hereditaments herein described are now intended to be demised to the assignee forms of portion of the entire. In fact, this is like part of consideration, but because you know that, okay, for a contract to be enforceable, there has to be an offer, consideration, and acceptance. So now let me just move to the chain of ownership and everything. Belonging to the Shotayo royal family of Akpeje Imota, Shagam local government, Ogun State, from time immemorial. I said there has to be a chain of ownership, history of how the land has been transformed. So this is now obviously saying that if I want to trace this deed of assignment, who are the original, the reason there was a particular